We're talking about step 2 today. We spoke about step 1 last week as the key to change being this 3-step process. Last week we talked about first step to change is you have to become aware of what's really going on, not pretend what's going on, but actually really get clear about what's going on. And once you have that down, then you can move into what we're talking about today, which is step 2, which is acceptance. And so many times people want to go from step 1, awareness, to step 3, which is action, but we're not there yet. And that's the thing, is that this is a 3-step process for a reason, for true change in your life, patterns, ways of being, ways of thinking, relationships, anything you want for yourself in any area of your life. This 3-part process is essential and the key to lasting change. So, acceptance. Hello and welcome to Say Yes to You and Why You Don't for women who are great. It's saying yes to others, not always as great at saying yes to themselves, but are ready to start making changes. And I want to invite you to take the assessment that I have put together so that you can kind of see where your mind takes you off track, so you can bring yourself back and be able to more easily, readily put this 3-step process together. And the link is for you below this video. So, or if you're listening in audio, below the audio. So, I am Claudia Braun, mindset and lifestyle coach, and I'm really happy to be with you today and really excited to talk about this conversation that we are having about acceptance, because I think many times people get confused about acceptance and liking or condoning, or meaning that nothing is going to change. And that is so not what acceptance is about. And that's why I know that this is such an important step for you to not bypass and to really take into your mind and heart, so that you can put it into practice and start to really accept the benefits, receive the benefits, and how acceptance can shift your life in ways so unexpected. Again, so many people, I think that if they accept something, that means that they like it, or it means that they want it to stay that way. And many times when I talk to my clients about a situation in life, and I like to use weight loss because I think everybody identifies with that physical, wanting that physical change. It's really evident. And many times I tell my clients, especially when they've been battling weight for a long time, to come to a place of acceptance of where you're at first. And often I hear, I don't want to accept this. I don't like the weight I'm at. I don't like the size I'm at. I don't like that things are the way they are. So I'm not going to accept it. And what that does is keep you stuck and digs you deeper into the problem. Because, you know that line, what you resist persists. The more you say, no, I don't like this. No, I don't want this. No, I will not accept that this is happening in my life because I don't agree with it and it shouldn't be this way. The more you take that stance, the more you guarantee that which you're experiencing, which you want to change, won't change. And that's why acceptance, it can seem like you're not doing anything. And usually, if you are a woman, a man who is used to saying yes to others, You're a doer. You like to do things. You like to get things done. You like to check things off your list. And I get it, because I know I have that too. And in addition to that, the doing that is required for acceptance is a doing internally. And the doing is making a decision. That's an internal process. You are doing something, but you're not physically moving something, or you're not physically getting into action. It's not something you can check off your list, but you are doing something. What you're doing is making a decision that you will come to peace with this. Let's go with the weight loss, right? Maybe you're 2 sizes bigger than you wish you were. And you, instead of going, no, I don't like this. No, I won't have it be this way. You look in the mirror and you judge yourself, and you're angry at yourself, and you're mad at all the decisions that you've made, and you think, oh my, you just berate yourself, or you berate the situation, or you berate the people in your life, whatever it is. But like I said, if it's weight loss and you just go on and on about what's wrong with this, the difference with acceptance, when you go, okay, I'm going to accept this, you stop the fighting. You make the decision to stop the fighting. And that is the decision that you are making. That's a decision that you're making. It's an internal doing. You decide, I'm not going to do that any longer. I'm no longer going to fight this situation. I'm no longer going to resist this. I'm going to accept. I mean, here's the thing. If you're 2 sizes bigger than you wish you were, in the moment, you can't change it. In that moment, you're not going to lose the 2 sizes. And so the more you resist it, the more you just make yourself feel bad, angry, stay frustrated. And usually that stance will keep you from making good choices anyway. And so then it snowballs. But when you decide to accept, you decide to come to some level of internal peace about it. Doesn't mean you like it, doesn't mean you want it, doesn't mean that you condone it. It means that you say, I will stop resisting this. I will acknowledge the choices that I've made have led me here. I don't like it. I'm not proud of it. Wish it were different. It's not. But I accept that this is how it is. And I will come to peace with it. I will acknowledge that I made those choices. And I could even maybe forgive myself for those choices that I made. And I did the best I could. If I could have done better, I would have. And I did the best I could. And so I accept that those choices led me here. And I accept this. And you allow yourself to truly feel that, be with that. Let it go from a head to feet and thinking it to actually feeling it in your heart. Because when you can actually feel in your heart and come to peace with it, you will see how things can begin to shift and change. Because I know, I've shared, if you're new here, you may not know this, but I am somebody who really did struggle with my weight and my eating and my relationship to food for a very long time. And I was in a lot of resistance to how my situation was, which just kept me on a treadmill of diets and frustration and disappointment with myself and the things that I was trying that didn't work because my mind wasn't in the right place. So when I accepted, okay, I don't like it, it's how it is, the battle stops. The battle in your mind stops. And then you're open to possibilities. Then you're open to what surfaces within you, and you notice your mind gets quieter. Again, I know that acceptance is not an easy step to take, which is why I really encourage you to give yourself this week, because we are in a 3-step process. Last week we talked about awareness. Today it's acceptance. Next week we'll talk about the 3rd step. So give yourself this week to just sit in acceptance and notice what happens when the idea of acceptance enters your mind. How much resistance do you have? How much does your mind go, I'm not going to accept this situation? Absolutely not. How much does your mind tell you, why would I want to accept this? I don't want it. And see, because that is going on in your mind is why things aren't changing. And when you want change to happen, you want it fast. That's just how we are as humans. We don't want to wait. We don't want to process. We want it now. But that frequently is not how things work. However, what I do know is that the more you come to peace, to acceptance, the faster things change. So it's kind of an irony in that you think, I think humans think, the more I push on this, the more I try, the faster it's going to go. But the truth is, the more you let go, acceptance is a letting go step. It is a surrendering step. It is a giving yourself permission to be in this experience and stop resisting it. And I know, my friend, that is not an easy step to take. And it's why you're not taking it, and why most humans don't, and why most of the world feels this kind of angst or irritation frequently about something in their life. So if you're feeling that kind of anger, irritation, frustration with yourself, with a situation, with somebody else, I invite you to pick up the step, acceptance, and see what happens. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous talks about acceptance as being the absolute key to happiness. And the reason why is because most humans, alcoholic or not, live in a lack of acceptance of what is, especially when what is not what you want. So it's almost as if you step into some sort of radical acceptance or loving what is, as Byron Katie likes to say, loving what is. Because the more you love what is, the more what is will shift and change. And always it will get better. It is your resistance that keeps the suffering going. And the more you don't like something, and the more you shout no at it, the more you guarantee it will not change. So if you are practicing resistance and being angry at things and irritated with things and frustrated with how things are, I invite you to try this and see what happens. What if you try a little bit of acceptance? Even though your mind's telling you, well, that's not going to work, because that's what the mind does. It doesn't want a solution. It wants you to stay in pain, in suffering, in irritation. And as you learn to work with your mind, quiet it, bring it back to a place of equilibrium, acceptance, you discover the the power of this very simple but not easy step to take. So, my friend, share with me what comes up when you think about acceptance of your life situation. Weight loss, relationships, a job that's not working, people in your life that are frustrating you, you not being able to say yes to yourself. All of these require your radical acceptance, because as you come to a place of acceptance, you will see the possibilities. And then you are ready for step 3, which we will be talking about next week. So I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. I know that the more I practice acceptance, the better my life gets. And I'm going to tell you, it's not a one and done. Because you will find many areas of your life that ask you, require you to choose acceptance. They're, irritating people that you will come across in your life, in your work life, in your family, all around, your neighbors. And they will give you an opportunity to practice acceptance instead of them wanting to rage at them or lash out at them. And then see what happens. See how that changes you. And then ultimately the situation. So excited to hear how you're putting acceptance into your life. Maybe it's the first time that you've actually given yourself permission to stop fighting. I know I have a client who I work with, and she's been really frustrated about things that she cannot change. And we've really been working on this for her, and she is seeing what's happening. And she's finding that joy is coming back into her life, and she's aware of how little joy she has had and how much she has been in this vice of anger, irritation, and it's really cut off her creativity, her appreciation, enthusiasm for daily living. And that's what happens when you hang out in the opposite of acceptance, resistance, judgment, your anger, your frustration. You cut off your joy. So there is so much good awaiting you. And this step, simple but not easy, is a huge step to bringing your joy back. Give it a try, see what happens. Thank you for being here with me. I'm Claudia Braun, Mindset, Lifestyle, an EFT coach for women ready to start saying yes to themselves. You've been with me on Say Yes to You and Why You Don't. Do access the download to find out how your mind may be tripping you up in ways you had not realized. The link is below. Bye for now, and I look forward to being with you next week as we talk about step 3. Do leave a comment, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.